Well, greetings once again. This is Dr. Bill Bailey, and this is the Chromest Netcast. We're still talking about Chrome, all the shiny information about Chrome. And so I want to pick up with some new things this week on the Netcast. I trust that this has been a useful Netcast for you in terms of information, and we're going to be getting into some good things. I've got a YouTube video that's linked on the website, which, by the way, the website is Chromest.com. I hope that, like me, you become a Chromest, one that appreciates Chrome, all right? So that's Chrome, C-H-R-O-M-E-S-T, Chromest, all right? And so Chromest.com, as it says there on the screen, there's a link to a YouTube video that's actually from Google. And this video was from 2009 when Google first introduced the Chrome OS. And it's really a neat little video. It actually is very short, 3 minutes and 22 seconds, but it will give you a feel, a taste for what Google is trying to do with the Chrome OS. And then I have an article here, A Brief History of Chrome OS. Now, you know, Stephen J. Hawking has a book, A Brief History of Time, which is obviously a little tongue-in-cheek because it's a very long and involved book. But at any rate, this is a brief history of Chrome OS. And here in this article, let me just read part of it to you here. The Google Chrome operating system is a key part of Google's strategy with regard to their Chromebooks, which, by the way, I'm using a Chromebook right here for the Netcast, and I'm actually reading it off of a Chromebook, so there you go. We do know that, well, so it goes on to say the actual history of Google Chrome operating system is not clear. We do know that it was first introduced to the public in 2009, you know, as I mentioned in that video. However, we don't know much else about the history of the operating system. According to Stephen J. Von Nichols, who wrote a nice article about the history of the Chrome operating system, he works for ZDNet, and he quoted a former Google engineer named Jeff Nelson, who claimed that he had created a new operating system that was originally named Google OS, and when it was released to the public, it was released under different product names. Google Chrome OS, the Chromebook, the Chromebox. But Nelson points to his patent, which was granted later for a network-based operating system used across devices. So he patented the operating system that he created. Now, he originally created that operating system in the year 2006. So 2006, 7, 8, 9, 4 years before the Chrome OS was released. Now, this operating system is a bare-bones Linux distribution created in 2006, and it was initially rejected by Google management because you couldn't use it on an airplane. That was their concern. Now, at the time, the interface was Firefox for the browser in the operating system rather than Chrome, because Chrome hadn't been invented by that time. So that's how all the history of this came together. So obviously now much has changed since that point, because Wi-Fi is more ubiquitously available. I wish it was truly, fully ubiquitous, but you can use a cell phone and connect through a 3G or 4G connection to the internet, and then use that as a hotspot and use that for your Chromebook. I've done that many times. My wife has used her Chromebook in the back seat of the car as we've been driving down the highway. So you can use a Chromebook connected to the internet through some Wi-Fi connection. You can pull up to a McDonald's and use their Wi-Fi. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do with it. And the great thing about a Chromebook is that since it is a special kind of stripped down version of Linux, you're not as subject to problems using a public connection, because you're not going to be, you're not going to be picking up viruses and things along that line. So it is even safer if you use it that way. Now, I prefer to use my own Wi-Fi connection, but at any rate, Stephen J. Von Nichols goes on to say that's not the end of the story. Gen 2's portage is still used for package management in Chrome OS. However, sources say that the Chrome OS kernel was originally based on Ubuntu Linux, later was moved to Gen 2 Linux, and now it says that the kernel is a regular upstream kernel plus their own changes. We don't pick up anything from Gen 2 in that area. So the only thing they still use from Gen 2 is the portage product for package management. Other than that, Chrome has become truly its own separate distribution of Linux. Stephen J. Von Nichols goes on to say, no matter how exactly Chrome OS got its start, today it's becoming a popular Linux distribution. While it's most often found pre-installed on Chromebooks, Chrome OS can also be installed on PCs. And he goes on to say that you should try Chrome OS, install it on a spare PC, and just play with it. Or, as I have, get a Chromebook and use it directly from a Chromebook. Now, it's also true, and we may do this in a future Chromest Netcast, we may take a Chromebook and actually put a different distribution of Linux on it. You can do that if you want a little fuller version of Linux on your Chromebook. However, I haven't done that, and I haven't seen a need to do that because the Chrome OS itself has been very useful to me. And actually, there's part of what I want to do with this Netcast is delve further into what we can do to make the Chrome OS even more functional as an operating system. And we're going to be getting into that in future Chromest Netcast. So, hope you enjoyed today's excursion into the history of Chrome, and I encourage you to go watch that video. There's several videos that Google has produced about the Chrome OS, and if you will check out those videos, I think you'll get a better feel for what they're trying to do. And they're making improvements all the time, so more will be coming. So join us next time. Remember, until then, here you'll find all the shiny information on Chrome.